Hello and welcome to Bill's weekly gardening tips for mum. And I might do a bit of a one patch update too. And you might be able to hear the royalty free space music that it's inappropriate, but I don't have any gardening music, so I've chosen space. Right, so that's lovely. No caffeine diet Coke, no caffeine, can you see that? It's amazing, it's really nice when you've just had some food, like a lunchtime food, like a bit of salad or something. Where was I? So I bought a copy of a gardening magazine, and my mum said, rather than watch me opening trading cards, my hair is awful, my glasses are wonky. This just looks uncomfortable. It is a bit uncomfortable, like the card is sitting to me. So anyway, where was I? Rather than opening trading cards, I thought I'd do some gardening tips. So the first gardening tip is go around your garden and pick up any cigarette stubs and empty any ashtrays. So that's an easy one. You can even do it in the rain, in the middle of the night. If your cigarette stubs you need to go over the grass to get them and the grass is wet, then please wait until the grass is dry. It's the 18th of February here. The second tip is get your gutters cleaned, because it looks very nice. Get them cleaned inside and out, and that will potentially save problems in the future. The third tip is you can start looking at your shed or your garage or your greenhouse or whatever. We don't have a shed or a greenhouse, but you can look at them, start to organise things, and with your cactuses and things, you can think about giving them a water. Maybe pour out a cup for use in a few weeks' time of water. If you have a water box, which is a big thing of water, and it's smelly, you can put in potassium something or other, and it makes it a bit less smelly. And it's the same thing you use in aquariums. Potassium hydrogenate, maybe, or something like that. If you go to a garden centre, they'll tell you what to put in the water pots, which should be full by now with all the rain and the winter. But we don't have one. I don't see the point, to be honest. Because they don't store all that much water, do they? Maybe it's worth a few pence or something. There's no water shortage in this country, but of course, when there is a hose pipe ban, I suppose a water butt, that's when it comes into its own and is really useful. So that's the gardening tips for the 18th of February 2025 for my mum. I'm wearing a patch somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Up there. And it's a step 1 patch. So I've kept 2 more papers. So with the 1 patch method, after you put on the patch, you have one or 2 within no more than a couple of hours, and then the crunch work. There's two sort of difficult periods of work with the 1 patch method. The first most difficult is the first few hours, and you'll probably get, because you're wearing the patch, the cravings really won't be that bad. You'll get maybe 1, maybe 2 mild cravings, and if you don't say I'm going to push through, then you won't push through. If you say I'm going to give in at the mild craving, then there's, I suppose the advantage of the one patch method is if you are in that weak sort of frame of mind, then you'll know almost straight away, because within a few hours you'll be back to smoking. To be honest, I haven't thought about that before, and it is true really, because you don't need to go through a week of struggle and then relapse, because it's like I said, if you're going to fall at the first hurdle, with the one patch method, you do have the cravings pretty much within a few hours, and you have to push through them. And the second patch, which is difficult, I haven't really got that far yet, but once you get to the point where the patch is falling off and you're wearing one patch until it falls off, when it's gone, say after a few days, then you might get some stronger cravings, but by that point you've got the habitual side of things is really started to decrease. So you've got the two aspects of the addiction. You've got the habit, which says right about now I should be doing this because it's my habit, and then there's the physical feeling. And of course, with the patch, the physical feeling is a lot less, the habit is a lot more of it. And then when the patch comes off, you've had a few days or weeks with the patch on, and the habit is then not coming into your mind so much, but the feeling is all of a sudden, once the patch is being taken off, all of a sudden coming back. But with the patch, of course, they have three strengths, and so you go step 1, step 2, step 3, and there's also a sort of pre-quit step that some companies sell, and that's just the same as the step 1 as far as I can tell. But having said that, I've been experimenting, because I ordered some step 2 and I didn't have any step 1, so I actually wanted a step 1, so what I did was I took 1.5 step 2 patches, they're 40, and step 1 is 21, and I just put on 1.5 patches and saved the other half for later, and that seemed to, I'm not sure it worked exactly the same. If you speak to the people who manufacture it, they're probably bound to not speak about it with their contract, but they would probably also say, well, they're just the same. If you're paying, I mean, you can look at the prices on Amazon, you're paying the same for 7 step 2 or step 3 as you're paying for step 7 step 1, and you're getting less nicotine in a sense. So why don't you just buy step 1 and then for step 2 cut off a third, and have the 2/3. For step 3 cut off a third and have 1/3, and then you just get more value for money. But that just seems like a scam to me. Why you can't do that? No reason not to, but they'll probably come up with some reason why it's not advised. But I'm hoping that common sense is beginning to come back into the doctors and the nurses, and doctors and nurses have their hands tied. They have to say that certain things, even though they know that it's not the full picture, or even in some places complete nonsense. And I didn't want to go in a rant about the medical system, and I apologise for that. Doctors and nurses do a wonderful job, and it's a wonderful career to have. It's really admirable to devote your life to helping other people and your career, and they have a hard time of it sometimes, and I'm the sort of person that gets in a grumpy mood and complains sometimes, and I also think the other side of that is to give praise when it's due. But that's it for now. I won't do any trading cards, and I hope this video is still recording. Thanks for watching.